All right, class. So today we're going to be talking about perimeter and area. So if you look at this shape here, let's pretend that this shape is someone's backyard and they want to fence around their backyard. So since we're using the term around, we're going to be using perimeter. But before we get started, we know that these two shapes are missing. So those two are missing. And we know that to find perimeter, we need to use all of the sides. So let's go ahead and start finding out what these sides are. So let's start with this one. Let's divide this so it's got looks like two rectangles, like this one's longer and this one up here. So to find this one, we know that because it's a rectangle, this side and the 20 feet side are going to be the same. So we need to find out what this question mark is. So we know this has to be 20 feet. And we also know this part and this part of this rectangle are the same. So this is going to be 12 feet. So if that part is 12 feet, then we need just to find the rest of this over here. So let's look. So let's do 20 minus 12 to find out what this part of it is. So 20 minus 12 is 8. So this part is going to be 8 feet. I'm going to erase that question mark. Right, 8 feet. So now we just have one side left to solve. Go ahead and erase that question mark. And we're going to divide this rectangle again. So now this time, this side's going to be longer. This part's going to be longer than this part. So we know that these two sides need to be the same. So if we look at this rectangle for reference, we know that this part is 18. So that means that this side has to be 18. So we know that this side is just 14 up here from this rectangle, but we need to find the rest of it. So we're going to do 18 minus 14, so that equals 4. So we know this part is going to be 4 feet, because this little part over here is 4 feet. Okay. So now that we've found all of our sides, we can go ahead and find the perimeter. So perimeter is adding up all of these sides, so we need to figure out what all these sides add up to. So let's do this. So P is for perimeter, so perimeter is 4 plus 8 is 12 plus 14, so that would be 26 plus 12, so 26 plus 12 is 38 plus 18, that equals, so if we don't know that right off the top of our heads, we can just come over here and add it up like this. 8 plus 8 is 16, 3, 4, and 5. So that equals 56 plus 20 equals 76. So we know that our perimeter is 76, and since we're looking at a yard, we know that's going to be measured in feet because that's what these say. So it's going to be 76 feet. So now, let's move on to area. Let's go ahead and erase all this and move on to area. Okay, so we still know all of our sides. That does not change. So we still know that that part is 8 feet and that part is 4 feet. But instead, we're going to start to find the area. So we know the perimeter is outside, so that means area has to be inside. So let's divide this into 2 to make this easier. So this is going to be a rectangle, and this is going to be a rectangle. But area is finding the inside of each rectangle. So we know that since this part's 12 up here, this part has to be 12 down here. And this is 18, and that is 18. So I'm going to write that in 18 feet. So to find the area of this rectangle, we need to do length times width because that's our formula for area. So we're going to do 12 times 18. So let's do that. 12 times 18. So 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Then 1 times 2 is 2, and then 1 times 1 is 1. So we're going to add those together to find that that is 100. Here, I'll go ahead and erase this. So that's 108 feet. And since this is area, we have to put our little squared. So it's 108 feet squared. So we found this one. Now let's move on to this one over here. I'll erase this out so I can put an answer in here. So we know that this side is 8. So this side has to be 8. So it's going to be 8 feet. And we know this side is 4 feet. So this has to be 4 feet as well. So again, we need to find the area. So we're going to do length times width. So 8 times 4 equals 32. So this part is 32 feet squared. But we're not done. We still have to find the area of the whole L-shaped rectangles. So to find that, we're going to do 32, which was the area of this smaller rectangle, and 108. So let's put the 108 on top, and we're going to add those together to get the area of this whole shape. So 8 plus 2 is 10, carry the 1, 3 plus 0 is 3, so 3 plus 1 is 4, and then drop that 1. So our area of this whole thing is 140 feet squared.